And welcome back to ESL Pro League, live from the Intel Esports Arena, as we're going to be thrashing our way for our second series of games. It should be a juicy one, as we have North facing off against HellRaisers, Ben.
Yeah, so both teams fresh right now off of 2 games. Slightly different best of twos there. One, North won both of their games quite convincingly. HellRaisers lost rather convincingly. So, we're hoping that 20-minute sort of break they had, maybe North have kept off the gas a bit. Maybe HellRaisers finally got in the car. Who knows?
Actually, yeah, they've opened the door.
They finally decided to try and get it going, but who knows? Who knows? Hopefully they have. So this will be the 5th different map we've seen from them as well, by the way. So yeah. I don't really know what to expect.
It's interesting. And also, if you are just joining us, we witnessed HellRaisers lose both of their games here on the B stream. Meanwhile, North were able to lay out a pretty good thrashing over on the A stream, and they've been looking good in Pro League so far. Currently the team at the top, looking to continue that. HellRaisers, they really need a big reset.
Yeah, it's been a rough few games for them so far. Sorry about that.
It's quite hoarse, aren't they?
Yeah, they're quite hoarse. Yeah, that's one horsepower, lacking it.
Yeah.
I suppose if you want to go back into the vehicle
just one
sort
horsepower,
of movement
into the car dynamic.
Yeah, they've had a bit of an issue. It's like the game yesterday, right? We saw them against Big, and first game they looked pretty good. Yeah. Second, they completely faltered. We were just like, that looked completely different, a completely different performance compared to the first map. Today they didn't even show up, if I'm honest. Inferno was very scrappy. When they won rounds, it was a bit like, how did they actually win those rounds? Second map, it was just even worse somehow. And now we're thinking 20-minute break between those setups, and now. Surely something big has to change for them to now get a different result. It's not good enough currently. Angel's got to be putting out a big team talk, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, big old Mark Henry needs to rile up the troops. He does need to try and he needs to get something behind them, because obviously they did look a little bit lifeless, and they were just getting absolutely trashed in those opening 2 games. They looked better yesterday versus Big. I mean, it was at least a closer showing. Dust 2 obviously a very one-sided affair, but that's in fair play to Big. They're a very good Dust 2 team, and they really did drill home that point. HellRaisers, however, they've looked quite topsy-turvy. There's not really been any true consistency to them. I mean, Issa had a great game on Cash, but since then he's been a little bit just in the back seat.
Yeah, the issue is, we can look at individual performances, right? But at the end of the day, the whole team is not performing. You can have one player play well, but all they're going to do is get you maybe up to that 6-7 round mark. Because there's no way a player on his own can actually get you to the 16. Everybody needs to be contributing a bit. And, that Inferno map, Dead Fox probably the dead weight in that instance. Second map, everybody was pretty lacking. There was not even one player trying to perform. Everybody was just below par. And now we're looking at this map now against North. North have played Train already twice in Pro League. They've won both games, one of them in double overtime. I've got to be thinking North are fresh on this map. They've already played it once. HellRaisers, their 5th unique map already of Pro League. They're looking at a 6th one in the second map too. I really think they're getting onto different maps every single game, and this is we've not been fresh. We haven't just practiced with this setup. We haven't just practiced with our default or anything like that. It's a really bizarre situation to be in.
It has been a bit all over the place for them, and I think that's going to be translated into the odds we have here as well, because it should be majorly favouring North, and it is. HellRaisers, they've been struggling a lot. Ben, what are your thoughts on the odds?
It does look about right, doesn't it? I mean, we just on paper, we look at HellRaisers into recent form, 1 win of the last 4. North, on the other hand, I think 7-1 in the last 8 games. It's a complete contrast in terms of form, as we mentioned, and the odds do show it. I mean, Train is probably a North map. In the past, when I've faced Acadian, it was mostly on Train, if I'm honest. It seems to be one of his maps. So as a caller and IGL and an AWPer, it's pretty much a dream, really, isn't it? You get on a map like Train, you're like, cool, I get to do what I want. If I want to pick B, nobody's saying no to me.
Well, that's the thing. You have the freedom to sort of be able to use that scope. Train's always been a great map for that, and it's going to be scary as well, because not only is it a map that really sort of, down to its core, favours North, right now, they're coming off the back of a win from it. They're feeling pumped up. Obviously, a 2-0 in their series before. That's 6 points for them already picked up. They could try and make 12 points today and have an absolute field day in Pro League. And if that's the case, it would be lunacy. So looking like it could definitely lead into their favour quite a lot in this one. So who are you going to go for the predictions?
I think it's a safe North pick, isn't it? It doesn't feel like there's any reason for me to pick HellRaisers right now. The last 2 games we just saw, they were poor. From what we can see from North, they were really good. So As far as predictions go, I'm sticking with North.
Yep, I think I'm going to go for North as well. We are ready to get into the action. We're going to dive in. It is North versus HellRaisers here on Train, as we're ready to kick this one off, Ben. HellRaisers will be your CTs, North starting off on the T side.
So Gade, so this is quite a weird pistol. So Gade has dropped 2 P250s this round and bought a single flash. I've never seen a player drop 2 guns like that in a pistol round.
No.
It's usually, you know, you want that smoke flash, don't you? So you get a P250, that's fine. 2 P250s, I imagine they're relying on those to get picks as well. I mean, AZ and Valde have been given it. And they've done a bit of damage to Dead Fox. But otherwise nothing resulting in kills yet. So it's quite appealing. I like the P250 buys on the T side pistol. Purely because everybody thinks, you know, as a CT, you have that range advantage. So your USB is going to clock, so you tend to. The P250 has a different factor to it, doesn't it? Like that one-shot headshot at range. Try to get the angle there.
Talking about the one-shot headshots, though, Ben, the pistol frags are going in favour of HellRaisers quite rapidly. They're starting it off in a very dominant way, as all of the frags go in their favour, apart from a couple of kills back now for North, and it's on Valde to save it. It's a 1 versus 3, and he is going to be really pushed to try and save this round. It should not go his way. Does find the headshot, nearly the follow-up frag, but goes down to Bondic, but HellRaisers get the opening round.
Yeah, a bit of a rough one. I mean, that is, I suppose, what happens when you only have a flash ball, right? You have the single flash. As soon as that flash is done, you've got open rain then to just take fights at every angle. There's too many angles to look at when you run out of that T-main area, especially when you've let them set up to, like, Angel was boosted in Z. We had a player already back green fighting them. Very awkward situation to be in. I mean, I'm surprised it was close enough as it was. When there was a pause, I imagine that's probably a tech pause, right? That you wouldn't go for attack at the second round, would you? Yeah,
not straight away. It's got to be an issue, surely.
Of some kind. Basing off buys, I imagine, on the North side, because they haven't bought up, whereas HellRaisers ready to keep going.
Oh, it's a tactical pause for North.
Well, that's quite mind-boggling, if I'm honest. That is really... Like, I understand having 4 pauses, you sometimes don't even think in terms of spacing of a match. You don't have time to use them all anyway.
Yeah.
But there must be something specific that's been called here, right? So Caden got a scout himself. Kirby's got armor, CZ armor for AZ as well. Gade and Valde both pick up all the grenades in the world there as well. So I imagine there must be something, right? There must be a reason why you take a pause, otherwise, you know, it's a waste.
Well, yeah, it's just not worth it.
And Caden's going to get contact instantly here at Alley 2, loses the battle. So that's the scout already out of play, now on Kirby. But it's a 1-4 trade, technically that favours the T side, right? And even more now that Dead Fox has been tagged as well.
Okay, so Dead Fox forced to fall back.
Very, very far.
Yeah, all the way.
This is probably the furthest rotating I've ever seen. All the way to B.
Tour de train right now as he eventually arrives over at the B site. And North, they haven't really moved. The majority of the squad's just been sitting there.
I mean, Angel and Isa were both playing in the pop ladder room early on in that round. They heard nothing there. And now they've slowly migrated. Because of that rotate Dead Fox made, it meant that they could not just stay in ladder. They have to make a move. And as you can see, Angel now playing close in that Olaf sort of area. Isa kind of tempting fate behind the red train. And depending on timing here, he could be caught out. Ooh, he's actually looking, there we go. I was going to say, when is he actually going to be looking towards them? And he does get the info there, and they know where he is. And now they know where Angel is too.
So they've got the info, but what can they do with it as the push comes through?
Low.
So much damage transferred onto that CT side,
15.
But it's up to Kirby. He's left to try and clutch it out, and he's finding the frags with his scout as he pushes around, starting to be a bit of a showstopper. Wants to punish them all with a weapon. 2 remain. He has a CZ. They are low. 11 and 14 HP, but as he pushes out, Bondic will spam him with a FAMAS, and he dies next to his brethren. That is another round for HellRaisers, but it could have been a pickup for North there.
You just have to think, like, what kind of different scenario is there if one of those players wins his gunfight? Because one of them wins a gunfight. Say the player in main kills Angel. That round is completely different. The CTs have to be positionally, like, having to move all around the map. And Kirby, he made good work of it. I mean, he got 2 kills with the scout that he actually got from Cadian. And I imagine this is going to be some clean sweeps will be. They might get a plant because of how far Bondic is playing right now. Although, if they were gone down the lower ramp, they might have got it, but it's too late now. I don't think there should be a plant in play at all. So Angel is actually on the site. He'll probably get the kill on the close white player, and then the plant shouldn't really be possible. I mean, that was awfully close. But Kirby last life. He actually bought a P250 and he got a kill with it. So that's quite surprising.
And he is right now just holding. Seems they will push against him, but he didn't realise Woxic was coming from the rear, so Woxic punishes him. That's the shutdown and the end of the 3 rounds off the back of the pistol. Now North have cash to reinvest as they will don the AKs and see what they can get up to here. It's going to be interesting as well, obviously. Katie at the helm of this squad now. A bit of a change of roles, vastly different from what we used to see with MSL. It'll be interesting to see how they actually opt to play this one as we delve in, Ben. Only a couple of flashbangs and smokes between them. No real investment into nades other than that because the cash was weak.
Yeah, and obviously because of that force buy that they did in the second round, does mean Caden does not want the money for an AWP. So he's forced onto a rifle, which probably not his best weapon, but they're halted on that B push there. They got the contact, but Bondic, experienced player, has that Molotov ready pulled and does stop that push immediately. I think one of the things I didn't mention, they have played this map before against each other, which was back in, I think it was May on in Star Series, right? So that is when they technically had Mertz and MSL playing for them. And it was actually a North thrashing, if I'm honest, 16-7. But Mertz was the standout performer. Yeah. And he's no longer there. Look at this!
Oh no, Woxic right by them. All the trigger discipline lines them up. That's a double. And he looks to try and get some more, but unfortunately he'll be uppercutted, hit by the Biff uppercut from AZ.
It's always good to get a Biff uppercut in play right there. 4v3, man advantage for HellRaisers now as well. This is a much better start from them. Especially considering we saw an 8-1 scoreline and a 9-0 scoreline in the previous 2 games.
Okay, Dead Fox towards mid could be very effective if he actually does find those frags when they push out. The T's now going to swarm their way out and slowly extend around. We've got 27 seconds left on the clock. The backstab from Kirby is so critical to actually give his teammates in Cadian and AZ time to push out a pop dog. Hit the 19-second mark, and he's just about to get contact, but AZ takes the first fight and wins it. Finds the headshot as he'll obliterate Dead Fox. Issa gets popped by Kirby. Cadian shuts down Bondic, and the bomb will be planted, and it is all up to Angel. He might be an angel, but he's looking like he'll be turned into a ghost as the contact will come round. Kirby takes the firefight and should win it, but dies. Perishes himself, leaving it into a 1 versus 2 retake then.
He's got a kit. I mean, plenty of health, as we mentioned, and it's definitely winnable. The issue is the players are so far back. I'm not too sure if they can even hear this defuse tap, if I'm honest. Acadian being the healthier player, he has to actually make the move there. So, I mean, it's 3-1, but you got to wonder what was going wrong there for HellRaisers, because they had that man-up advantage. Issa was so low, he was playing on X, it was a bit of a horrible position, he had an MP9 as well. But Dead Fox, he had the scout in play. You mentioned like being, in that mid sort of area. And instead of actually using his smoke early enough that he was able to get it into use, he tried to wait so long when there was only 20 seconds left anyway. It's quite bizarre, really. And in terms of damage, it's not started off well for Issa. He's already taken a heavy hit there. 46 damage.
Well, into round 5. What is going to be the play of the day? Ooh, Valde with the opening kill. Detects Dead Fox and eliminates him. Hello. Going to go for the run boost over as well, so they can get the info and not be shot.
So that is a free kill there. Like, no risk whatsoever on the north side of things. Whereas for HellRaisers, it's like, what's the best scenario there? Dead Fox actually wins that duel and somehow is able to survive and not be traded. He had nobody there to back him up. It's another instance again by HellRaisers where they've just got a player playing aggressive with nobody there to help him. It's happening far too often for my liking.
Angel on the close angle, dead now as he will go down. Further frags coming through. The T-Star trying to really pop off. And this is North now looking a little bit more like North. Bondic. Death from above, surely, when this push comes out. There's a man just lurking above him, waiting to go for the first contact as they're going to extend their way out. Flashbang does blind him for the meantime. They jump down next to Bondic and eventually get the frag. It was a bit awkward, but they do still get it, Ben. And it all falls into the hands of Woxic with an AWP. A 1-on-4, misses the initial shot. Surely just needs to get away, but he won't. He's being hunted from all angles. He's landing tags, but surely no frags.
That is the 1 kill, but it's just a matter of time, really, isn't it? Valde's all the way behind him. He's already seen Gage push up that side as well. And there we go. 3-2. That is the money all gone from HellRaisers. We're probably looking at a 3-3 here, unless they somehow get a miraculous win this round. And quite interesting, like I mentioned that CT aggression. Surprisingly, in A main though, when Angel was playing close, he did have some backup from Issa. But because of how easy it is for the T side to play the game when it's 4v5 like that, they can just play the trade game. Just go there in pairs or threes. Just make sure you can get the trade. If a player does get a kill and then gets killed himself, make sure you get the trade. And you're infinitely technically going to win. Like, you're already a man up. I'm interested by this, though, to send everyone through alley. Cadian's AWPing the angle at alley, and they're just walking up with his cover. As soon as they swing out, they're going to see a lot of enemies very quickly.
Yeah, this is just going to be a shooting range, just like aimbots, Ben. Each frag should go their way. They get the early contact. There's just attack shots that come through. Easy kills start to develop, and as you said, one by one they'll go down. Valde, Kirby, and Gade take a kill apiece. Gade actually gets himself the hat-trick into the round. Talking of frees, it is all tied up now. 3 apiece for both teams.
And that was Gade's first 3 kills of the game as well. So a nice bit of comfort frags, I suppose. Just get in the game, you might have been on 0, you're on 3 now, you get going. And there's no AWP on the HellRaisers side. As great a player as Woxic is, I don't think he is as useful on a rifle as he is with the AWP.
Definitely more a comfortable role for him when he is on the AWP. He can be quite aggressive.
Ooh,
and talking of aggression, then they're already out. They've slipped out onto the A site in a matter of seconds. Gade does perish though. He goes down. Issa overpowers him into that one, but Kirby could send them down.
He just got saved by Cadian.
Did get detected, however, by Woxic though. They should have the info from it, but they're all just linking up and going to try and brute force this. Angel loses his face. Valde will win in that firefight. And it falls to Issa and Bondik now in the 2-on-4.
It's a rough situation to be in. I mean, Issa's got the only kill of the round for HellRaisers. And he's being forced into this situation to now pair up with Bondik. But if they just smoke off this alley side or have somebody watching it like they do right now, that's the instant contact. Valde gets the first kill, and he's probably going to get the second one here too. Great round from him, 4 kills. And it just feels like it is just getting away from HellRaisers now though. They started off strong, 3-0. And already now losing 4-3. And North are looking really good. I think one thing I noticed when Angel was going for that duel at alley just then at the backtracks. So I think there's a difference in rate of fire of the M4s. So I think the silenced one shoots slower than the M4A4. And that was clearly shown just then. And look at this outside fake.
Straight in. Gade with the double. That's a glorious way to kick off the round as the bloodlust's looking strong. HellRaisers need to start raising some hell if they want to retake this one, and it isn't looking likely. The fire's getting snubbed out, and they're all going down. It's only Woxic and Bondik that are left last alive, and North have pretty much already set in stone that this is going to be a round for them. And that's now 5 rounds on the trot as well. As soon as they got rifles in their hands, they have been deadly.
Yeah, taking control very, very quickly. I think Cadian's dropped his AWP to try and bait a player into coming down, Pop. No, he's picked it up again now. I think he left it at the bottom of the ladder, hoping that Bondik would drop down to try and get it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like there is a world where he does drop down the ladder, grab the AWP, and Cadian doesn't get the kill. But Bondik, I don't think he'll get a chance with his gun here. I mean, there's no reason for Cadian to go up this ladder. I think he's doing that same thing again. It's so weird to actually just drop the AWP. Maybe he dropped it actually on the outside of ladder room, and then made it so if he did drop down, he wouldn't get the gun. Keeps his armor though, so I guess into a buy round is pretty good.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. Obviously, they can reinvest into this now, so save a bit of cash. He has the CZ and the armor already for more money to spend on nades and that M4 as the buy comes back through. Round number 9. HellRaisers, have they found their mark now? Have they got something that can change the game? Because the double AWP setup has been bought.
Yeah, so that's the classic sign. We're not sure what to do. We'll try the double AWP. Deadfox more than capable of using AWP. Woxic as well. The question is, Bondik, he's already been baited into using his Molotov there. Very, very quickly, and he's been forced back. He's asked for a rotate. Angel's already gone. It's so aggressive from AZ at upper. And at the same time, they're pushing outside as well. There's aggression across the entire map right now from North.
They're keeping them on their toes, but the frags are definitely going back in favour of HellRaisers at this point. The kills from Woxic and Issa have been critical. And this crucial kill could be huge if Bondit can actually shut down AZ. He's left alive on 31 HP, but AZ can be such a nuisance if you allow him to take those firefights. Engage, full of confidence, just pushes straight in. Angel tries to sideline him. It took so many shots. He eventually finds the frag, and the trade helps him out as Bondit will be able to slay AZ.
Gade's position is unreal here.
The gameplay pops out of the smoke, gets one. Didn't realize Woxic was on top of the train with the AWP. Couldn't get the flick over. It could have been absolutely ridiculous, but instead, it's a round for HellRaisers.
Yeah, a round win, great. But you've lost the AWP that Deadfox was wielding himself, so now you're forced back into that single AWP. I wouldn't say that the round was won due to having the double AWP in play, but it might have been a big factor in it. And there's a lot of confusion when it comes to these HellRaisers buys. I imagine there's, you know, in terms of communication issues, it's due to English not being the primary language for any of these players, right? And because of that, Deadfox on occasion, I've seen him leave spawn quite late.
It is odd. It's almost as if they need sort of that extra time just to go over the buys. And we saw that in the series versus Big. Like they spent so long
for it, didn't they?
Yeah, they spent so long trying to drop weapons to each other that they left late sometimes.
And on a map like Train, I mean, if they were to rush outside, they could get caught out. And this take from North looks phenomenal, really. In terms of execution, they've dry run that a load of times, by looks of things. 4 very quick kills, basically round over, unless Bondit goes absolutely insane. Yeah,
that was flawless, and it very well could be flawless as well as Bondit, unless he gets an opportunity to strike, which he does, takes down one and denies the bomb plant, but he's still completely overwhelmed, and he's deep in enemy territory here. The A site has been swarmed by those Ts, and they will close out the round. Kirby executes him and gives them that 6th round. So North, quite comfortable as they work their way through. I mean, this should be pushed to a 7-4 really before there's a chance for HellRaisers to start to have a response again. So North definitely looking good on their T side.
You mentioned pushing it to a 7-4. We might be looking at more than that. HellRaisers have bought a bit into this round, but not fully. But it's enough that Angel and Issa, they're both on less than $900 right now. They're not going to have a good buy next round. They've got another 2 rounds for a good buy. And Bondic, he's going to have to struggle in front. He gets the first kill. He's actually been able to pull back. Surely the trade has to come. It's not fair. So HellRaisers, they're 2 men up this round. This is winnable.
Gade pushes out, tries to see what he can get up to if he can cause some mischief, but he struggles there to actually connect the shots, and his entire team has perished as well. Things are getting awkward. Cadian's the only one to actually connect the shot onto the CT side. AZ down already in the depths of the site, but he's been removed, and it's up to Cadian to clutch it now. It's a 1-on-3, but he doesn't realize this is location. Had to hold the angle, pull the trigger, and put a bullet through where his thoughts get processed, and that is the end of the round.
That's another classic round where you lose a player early against an eco, and then that's followed up instantly. Within like 3 seconds, another player falls, and suddenly it's complete chaos. You don't have a clue what's going on. You start to wonder where did they get killed from, especially when you're coming out that B up a bit. You saw Gade. He saw the enemy at the back of, like, you know, what we call it Summit, which is where Bondic was sat. And he saw him there, but then he was getting shot from 3 different angles. There was no clear way for him to take one fight. He was fighting too many people at once. Complete chaos for him. But a very good round for HellRaisers to win, though. I mentioned the money was quite bad, but winning with, I think it was 3 or 4 players alive, that's a solid eco. So you can see that same take, this time from above ladder, coming through. But they are delayed due to the Molotovs being used, and they've got 2 players walking through alley as well. They saw about the timing. If Deadfox isn't looking towards alley, this could be bad news for them.
Issa waits for this push to come through, seeing if there's going to be any early contact, but look where Kirby is, as he just tiptoes up behind everyone, Ben. He slipped into such an amazing position. He's the hitman right now, the Silent Assassin, but he runs into Woxic. And there's the trade, as all of a sudden the Bloodlust kicks off, and each man will trade against the other, leaving them into a 3 versus 3, with 40 seconds on the clock as this push comes out towards the A site. It's a Mexican standoff from either side. The CT's trying to hold the angles, Cadian scoping in, panicked, loses another brother in arms, but Gade luckily trades it. But Deadfox could win the round all on his lonesome. The trigger discipline is amazing. Gets behind Cadian, kills the first, there's the flick on the second, and Deadfox dominates.
Yeah, part of the reason Kirby got through at alley was because Deadfox was not even looking towards it. So thankfully he recovers the round there. 2 very big kills on a very big round when it comes to money, because North, the economy is not fantastic. They're having to get, the last bits of cash that they have built up in the past few rounds are finally being used. A huge round in terms of game. This probably decides who wins the half here.
Yeah, it's an important one. In round 13, it's really going to set in stone how this game could go. Early Molotov is launched out. The push doesn't come through. It's all tied up at 6-6. They keep it quite slow. Time ticking down. 1:25 on the clock here into round 13. Oh, the first contact for Woxic, but he misses the initial shot. However, Kirby will get the frag over on Issa.
Yeah, it was a very big kill. The fact that he was able to run out main, get that kill, and be pulled away without being traded. Very good move from Kirby, and very good movement as well. I'm wondering, this late lurk that Valde's going to be doing through alley, how much use he'll be towards the round when it comes to like that last 30 seconds. Does the BXU's got to have to come in before his lurk is actually initiated into the round? But I'm wondering if he'll be able to slip through the cracks and actually catch a player such as Woxic right here. I think he has seen him rotate. But the B-take, this needs to go successful. There's 3 players towards this site now.
Angel with a double kill, Bondic with a flick up and the headshot on AZ. And if they were going to take this round, it's not gone well for them. The backstab from Valde though, Ben. They are holding the angle. And Angel's trying to reposition, just sitting there waiting right now. Goes for the reposition back around. Valde's just sitting by Old Bomb. He's going to get spotted, but he steps in front. Oh, this could be awkward. The big spam from a distance, but Valde finds the kill on Dead Fox. Cadian will be eliminated, and it's all up to Valde to save the day. It needs to be vicious as he pushes up, slashes down the first man with a big claw, but the response from Woxic is too strong. He wanted more, brings the ruckus, and that is the round for HellRaisers, giving them a 7th, and they take the advantage here as well.
Due to that plant though, North might actually be another chance of buying here, which it does look like they will be going for. So they have multiple players on that range of about 3,500 to about 5,000. And they are opting to buy. I mean, Cadian, Glass Cannon Orp. And Gade did go simply for the AK and armor. Kirby on the other hand takes the hit and actually goes for an MP5 buy, which is an interesting one. So HellRaisers, I mean, they've recovered. It was 5-3 at some point. Now it's 7-6. Much better, and this outside take was so dry, but somehow they're being caught out by it.
When they just go for the raw take and just use their individual aim, they seem to be winning the majority of these firefights. Gade, he's been so effective. So many ridiculous frags from him. Just early entries towards A where they've just waltzed in, danced around, and locked it down. And now it's only 2 players remaining for the side of HellRaisers. The miss from Woxic because Kirby just confused him. The aggression on display. And it just falls into the hands of Bondic. And he just wants to save. Hold on to that weapon for the last round. Make it a 7-7, see who is actually going to take the advantage and get the additional round at the end of the half. And it's as close as it can be, Ben. An 8-7 half for one of these sides.
The issue is for HellRaisers, they get 1,400 for this loss right now. So their best player in terms of money is Bodnik. He'll be able to drop an M4. He's already got full nades, so that's perfectly fine. But players like Angel, Woxic, Dead Fox, they're going to have 2250 at the most. It's a horrendous buy, but they've already won 1 round this half with a horrendous buy. Ideally, they want to add another one to that book. So there's that M4. I'm not too sure who that'll actually go towards. I imagine Angel? Yeah, it looks like Angel. So it's the wrong M4 for him, sadly. But he's been the only player performing on that HellRaisers side, so I wonder how well equipped is he to use that M4A4, because it's not his normal use.
No, he's not indeed.
And this looks like aggression straight up lower ramp as well.
Ooh, straight in, but AZ. He wants to try and fight fire with fire, but his fire is going to be napalm, Ben, as he explodes onto him. Gets the first and the follow-up frag, dominates against them, and that's the entry they needed. B site has been taken.
Yeah, the aggression, I mean, I like the idea of pushing up lower ramp, but the fact that they've done that with no person like flashing for them or anything. Woxic did tempt that round a bit better for them. There's 2 players low. Like, it is still winnable, but there's no kit in play is my issue.
No clip, and it is just the MP9 and the CZ, so could be restricted, obviously. It's going to be hard for them to get that defuse. They push out. Dead Fox loses his face as Valde will kill him. Issa on the adjustment. but Valde doubles down, and that is going to be the advantage for North at the end of the half there. They take that one, and it is an 8-7 in favour of them.
A pretty solid half from them. I mean, they did lose the pistol, went down 3-0. Recovered pretty damn well there, it was 5-3. And then when the half looked like it was getting away from them, HellRaisers, got themselves back into the game. North recovered those last 2 rounds. In terms of momentum, that's a strong hit for you, because then, regardless of who wins the pistol, it'll still be pretty close.
Well, it's all tied up, and it's still to play for. The pistol round could try and hedge their bets a little bit in favour of one of these two sides once we delve back in with the second half. But considering how North are looking, actually pretty damn effective on the majority of rounds, especially when they're going out towards their A site. Gade's performing well, they're popping off when they need to. It's surprising HellRaisers have been able to keep it this close, especially after what we saw in their opening games today.
Yeah, it's surprising just to see them start a bit stronger. Like, yeah, I mentioned it was 8-1 on Inferno when we watched them. I think it was 10-0 on Mirage. 8-7 at half is much better than what we've seen today. But the question is, how much do they have on their T side, right? So if they have been willing to, they're forced into playing 6 different maps so far in Pro League.
Yeah.
That playbook would have to be absolutely massive to have all 6 maps capable of being played to, a high level of some kind, right? Because otherwise you're relying on aim. And I mean, Train, you could resort to outside rushes, like North were doing that, during that half. When they were doing it, it was working for them. They were hitting all the shots, it looks great. But if you're not hitting the shots, you have nothing left.
Much like Ian Beale. I've got nothing left.
I've got nothing left.
Well, we'll have to see if they have any fight left in them once we carry on with our second half here. North, they've been looking damn good in Pro League so far. Currently situated at the top of the board overall, taking all the points from the first series. They're going to want to try and carry on that form. HellRaisers, however, have not found themselves into a good position at all. They have had 1 win, and the rest of their games have been losses, Ben.
Rather convincing losses at that as well. Was it 16-2 yesterday?
Yeah.
16-9 earlier, and then it was 16-4. Not a great situation to be in. And this is technically a team who, last season, they were heading to finals until the visa issues.
Yeah, they were supposed to be there.
So the question is, can they recover? I mean, T-side Train is a difficult situation to be in. Let's see, does Angel have any crazy struts in that playbook of his? So Dead Fox going for that. So he dropped the P250 for smoke and a flash. I imagine Woxical armor, yep. And Cadian goes for the CZ smoke. So I imagine he might be the B player in this instance. Although it looks like there is another player going towards B with him. So this might be a B bait setup, in fact. So he's playing closer here to get the sound cue, and he might just take the fight if he can, with Valde there behind him if he needs him. So they've actually just faked the B rush, essentially, HellRaisers. They faked the run all the way towards the brown holes. If there was a player playing that lower ramp spot, they would have heard all that stampede. Now they're going down ladder, and it looks like it's just going to be an outside split.
Well, the push goes through Gade. Looking to see what he can actually get up to here with that USP in his hand as he fans around. The first frag is found from Woxic as he adjusts up to AZ. And it is just left on 4 men on the side of North. This pistol round is so critical, but the comeback is strong. Valde and Gade get a killer piece, but Issa wants to leave them in the dirt and make their lives harder. Angel with the backstab. He is really going to be the key to success. Does get the dink down, kills Gade, has support of his teammates still, and they're in a crossfire. It's a 2v2, and they hit their shots, Ben. Issa will pop Gerby's noggin with a P250, and that is the round. They both pick it up as the teams go 8-8.
I think the main issue for the North pistol there was no kit in play at all. Right, so Cadian was the only one who had a smoke. He smokes towards ladder, weirdly, instead of the actual bomb. And Angel, that lurk was perfectly timed, gets those 2 kills, and Issa landing shots with the P250 when needed. And as you mentioned, 8-8. Not a full force by here, Cadian keeping his money for the AWP purchase on that first buy round. And they're actually risking nobody in B here too, which is quite unusual. See, that was a lot better in my mind. So North, they actually use a player, pop flash for Kirby to peek that angle. And unfortunately, doesn't land the shot, manages to pull out. Nothing lost really, other than the grenade use. A lot better when compared with the HellRaiser CT side we have seen thus far. I think the ultimate worry is if HellRaisers were to walk into B, North would have no clue about it, like whatsoever. There's nobody on that B site. Cadian's going back and forth checking it, and he'll see those grenades coming in now. The question is, will North actually risk trying to rotate into this, or will they just keep the guns for next round? In my mind, you keep the guns for next round, try and hold exits, that's about it. Because it simply isn't worth trying to retake that B site.
Yeah, and it seems like that will be the call. Most of them backing off, realising now that it's not worth it. Cadian going to fall back, the rest of the squad follows suit. They can try and hold a little bit for exits here on the players that didn't really invest. Cadian would be primarily the only one. And it seems like what they might get up to. The rest of them just grouping up then, trying to hold for those exits.
Yeah, better calls can be made there. It's not really worth it. And all the HellRaisers players will exit towards CT. Not going to see any casualties this round. A full 5v5, everyone's staying alive, round lost. 4 North.
Yeah.
It's quite a rare sight.
It is. Normally, at least someone goes down. Yeah. Kirby takes a lot of damage from that.
Yeah, his armor will be taking a big hit there. But 9-8 now. HellRaisers take the lead for the first time since that 3-0 that they did have. Actually, I think they were leading 7-6, weren't they? Yeah, they were. The question is, what are they going to do with these armor buys that they do still have? Because they've reinvested a smoke on Valdi and Gade, and they've got a flash on Gade as well. Because this round, it's not really worth forcing the issue, but Valdi is playing close on that lower ramp at B as well. Oh my god, he's actually just flash pushed forward. He's got 1 kill, but he's not going to be able to do anything with it.
So we got the first. AZ's going to be able to double it down. AZ with the flick around with the Mac-10, the Biggie Smalls play.
That's changed everything. The bomb's up there as well.
This is ridiculous.
2 players live with armor, and there's an AK Mac-10. Cadian can even get a pistol if he needs it. This round's gone from bad to worse for HellRaisers here.
It's just up to Issa and Woxic now to try and bail them out of this bad situation. They have control of the bomb. However, there is a minute of time to play with for HellRaisers as they do begin to mount their rotate. Issa splits up from the pack. They're going to go in from opposite angles and try and meet up in the middle. First contact will be found near Cadian, though, as he pushes out with the MP5. It is the battle of the SMGs between these two.
The timing. Cadian's going to be shot on the back here, isn't he?
Yeah, goes down. Had his back turned, didn't realise. Loses the first firefight. However, Issa has been killed by Kirby. And it is all on Woxic now. The fire goes off, but that doesn't cover the bomb. But the angle's there. He's been detected, tries to get the frag. Got Easy solo. Even if he did kill him, though, that could have been the trade frag from Kirby. And that does mean it goes 9-9 now.
And they kept both AKs as well. I mean, HellRaisers not really watching for that B push. As soon as the smoke gets put there, you've got to be wondering, are they going to try and push with it? They saved all those armors that time. And they do force back into it. It's not a bad buy by any means, but you've got 4 AKs and AWP. Compared to the usual buys we've seen so far today, this is a pretty good one for HellRaisers.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, you've got the AWP on Woxic. Trying to play aggressive over towards Ivy early on as well as he looks for the first pick. It's a 3-man setup outside of Ivy with 2 players lurking towards B. They've got bombed by Ivy as well.
Yeah, so they've established Ivy control, and they've also managed to get that Brown Walls control as well outside of B. So HellRaisers, despite having not many grenades for this map, or this round rather, they've got a surprising amount of map control. Considering the situation. And that spam through the smoke. It's so lucky to stay alive there. 14 HP off of Kirby's just random spam. So now a minute left on the clock. Grenades are going to start being used at Ali. And Cadian, he comes over. He's got plenty of grenades himself as well.
Well, here we go. HellRaisers about to go for this push through and try and slip out on towards the site and see what mischief they can make. Angel detects the first man, but Cadian was faster. Lands the shot with the AWP and punishes him. Flashbang goes out as well. Woxic holds the angle, expecting him to go for the repeat. He does, but he misses the contact. Both of them missing their shots. Kirby, in the meantime, has been able to find a counter pick over onto Issa, and they're struggling. HellRaisers, the team's falling apart into this round, and it gets worse and worse as the round goes on. It just comes down to the 2 players that are left, and they both hit the deck. Dead Fox and Woxic perish, and that is the round for North. They're going to get that defuse, giving them the advantage, giving them that 10th round now.
I was quite surprised there wasn't more concentration on the B site from North there. I mean, as soon as Cadian gets that first kill on one of the players trying to go backtracks, you got to be thinking it's a B split. But surprisingly, I mean, the B player at that time, he kind of pulled away a bit. He let that plan happen. But I suppose at the end of the day, they get the round win. It does mean that HellRaisers, they could have a half buy here if they really wanted to. But instead, their option to get those deagles. We saw a round on Mirage where they did win just purely behind those deagles. So it's not the worst situation to be in.
So, back into it now. Round 20. HellRaisers definitely on the back pedal. And they could be left on the back burner if they don't get some kind of momentum going, but this probably isn't the round where we're going to see it. They have no real firepower. The first contact gives them an inkling of information as well, so North have a rough idea of what could be going down.
And Woxic got his feet tickle a bit there. A little spam through the wall, did 4 damage. And North, knowing this is a pistol buy, they keep the 2 players towards B. Cadian gets the first kill there. And essentially just taking turns at picking with their deagles right now. Not a great recipe for success. But it looks like they're changing direction now, down towards ladder. And AZ has got his eyes on that, at least the run out for it. Should be just a shooting gallery for him.
Ooh. AZ just spraying his way through. Rips them to pieces. Woxic's the actually only one that has made a mark onto this round, but although he is a bit of a pistol powerhouse, when it comes down to it, he will be taken out of the equation. Gade will finish him off with the AK. 11-9. North just shaking their way through very easily now. Starting to actually look a lot more like the North we expected to see.
For sure, I mean, HellRaisers, that T-side was always a question mark. And they did win that pistol, but the eco that they lost to has thrown them off a bit here. And this looks like a much faster take there. Cadian goes for that pick, but Woxic does win the trade. He's been very successful in these opening battles in all the games we've seen so far. And that adds another one to the tally.
So you've lost Cadian. There are still 5 players on the side of HellRaisers. They haven't really committed to anything too wild. Kirby, though, goes for a bold play. The information push straight out of Ivy, gets up close and personal against Angel. If you would have found the frag, sure, it would have been great. But instead, him going down pretty much means this should be a huge round for HellRaisers at this point.
Yeah, the question is, where do HellRaisers want to commit to? We're now down to like the last 55 seconds. And there's 2 players still playing B right now for North. With Gade in team A, and he's now walking off as well. He's managed to screw himself an extra smoke, so if he were to Molotov ladder and rotate towards B, this could be a bad situation for HellRaisers, running into all the CTs.
Oh, easy with the spray down, Ben. That's a nice double to open it up. And you leave it in the 3v3. It's all tied up once again into this round. This favours North. They've got that bomb control. Not a lot of time left on the clock.
Oh,
the beat comes out, AZ! Straight in. Show-stopping. Absolutely exhilarating. It should be him getting the 4K to close out the round as well. Just hex the player, kills Angel. 12th round achieved, 4K secured.
I was building it up. I mean, you could just see they were walking into a death trap, and they committed through it as well. Through the Molotov, through the fire and flames. Just goes horribly for them. 12th round already on the board for North. HellRaisers now resorting to another one of those buys, just, you know, deagles here and there, some armor in play. You got me thinking it's 13-9. Deadfox actually committed through the fire there and actually got himself out here. Nice entry though as well. So the deagle does start off well. He needs backup from his team. He gets another one.
Ooh. Dead Fox popping off. Eventually he will be dead, though. Hit by a car, like a street fox.
I suppose. Yeah.
Quite common in London.
In London?
Yeah.
Classic St. Pancras fox.
The old standard. Ooh, Angel gonna die. There's Kirby, gets the double and the triple. They all just sprint into him whilst he's holding mouse 1, Ben, and one by one they fall down, broken. And North are just bombarding their way through now, racking up these points so easily, getting to a position where this is looking like it should be a North victory, really.
Yeah, this is the next big buy from HellRaisers. Roxit gets probably the most filled buy we've seen from him so far in Pro League.
Yeah.
The AWP, full grenades, head armor even. But he doesn't have the luxury of a pistol. He only has a Glock. So North so far, after stabilizing, after winning that eco round, they've looked really, really good. And I think that's just showing from the fact that they played train so often in the last few days. And HellRaisers, they're already out yard here.
Easy with the kill on Angel. Valde able to overpower as things start to go south, Ben. HellRaisers, they get a little bit of a kick back in their favour, but this could be the jump start they need. Bondik with a flank behind. Needs to try and get so much more, though, as he's spamming into the smoke, panicked, unsure of their location. Everyone on his team's gone down, and it is just on Bondik to save it. He's got to manhandle them in the 1 versus 2. Hides behind bomb train, starts to push up. He's still got a lot of time to play with, just under a minute on the clock as he looks to try and find the frags. The peak comes round, they know he's there. They both have AWPs to play with as he tries to push them. He's getting the tag off, but Cadian eventually got a line of sight, pulled the trigger, and North get themselves the 14th.
I was so confused why Kirby picked up an AWP, if I'm honest.
Actually, I don't know.
He had an AWP behind E-Bus, I was like, surely not. Like, why is he picked that up? He even threw it away at the end of the round. So they don't want to double AWP. And even though North have been winning these rounds, they still don't have money built up. So even if HellRaisers win one here, they might have broke the money from North. They just need to win one and then string some rounds together and they have a chance of winning here. Looks like they're going to be committing towards that B side though. Valde's been playing phenomenally this game. And he's backed up by Cadian once more. Can't see this going well for them. A very weak fake coming out there from Mesa. Just throws a single smoke. Valde gets the peak. Not expecting Dead Fox on the boosted angle there. Now Cadian, he's already quite close in this site, but he's got an AWP. It's not a great position to be in.
Angel with a headshot on Cadian. AZ will trade it back as they start to try and punish. Things are not going well. Bondik with a double kill. And it is all on Gade in a 1 versus 4 now.
He's got to be looking at the money and thinking, I need to save. Like, I mentioned that money was quite fragile for North. Despite winning, what, 6 rounds in a row? 7 rounds in a row? Something like that. The money's not great. Kirby and Cadian will be able to get a buy-in. Gade, he can drop probably an SMG, I suppose, to another player. But HellRaisers, they got to be thinking, we need to build on it. And he loses the gun as well.
North for 1 round away from match point, having that safety net of overtime, but it's not that much of a benefit for them. You would lose the extra points. You'd only be able to walk away with a maximum of 2 points there and a minimum of 1. For HellRaisers, though, they have money to play with, and they seem to have woken up now. A lot of these rounds are actually being quite down to the wire or drawing out, and it's just the individual strength of North that's actually carrying them over that finish line. But Kirby proves that. Pushes up straight away with the first frag on Bondik.
Oh my god, Gade's charging through the smoke. Couldn't quite find an exit in that smoke there. And despite Kirby getting that opening kill towards B, it's fallen apart on the outside part of the map. Just AZ and Kirby left. AZ probably going to fall here as well. Does a lot of damage, surprisingly, to Isa and Woxic there.
Oh.
And Kirby gets taken down by Angel as well. Angel's having a phenomenal game. I think he's on 24 kills. No, 24 for 19. The only player near him is Valde, actually, on the other side, 24 to 16.
It's a big game. It's looking good. Either side definitely looking competitive right now. HellRaisers looking much better than they have done throughout this season so far. They've woken up a bit. And we needed them to. Because they were sleeping on the competition, Ben. The round 26 can be still so important. all of these rounds. North, when they reinvest, they need to be able to pick it up. But Bondic completely sends that chance down the river, finds the double kill, and makes their life so hard to win this round now.
The fact that he's just gone down the ladder, pretty much pre-firing, because he could hear the players running close. And the fact he gets 2 for that. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, they're in such a good position right now. HellRaisers 4v2. Unless Valdi goes crazy, he does not. And Kirby's last man alive once more. 1v4. Very slim chances of winning here, especially with Angel coming out of main any second. Gets the 1 kill, but drops himself. And that's North. Money-wise, it's not great. And HellRaisers thinking, we can probably take this. We can probably force this in regulation, perhaps take the win, or even overtime. It is worth noting as well, North, it wouldn't be the first time to come to overtime. They had double overtime on day 1 against Big.
Yeah. But they want to stop that as well. I mean, the more overtime games you play, the rougher it is in terms of results. I mean, sure, at least for one side, you don't get no points. You will at least get 1, but it's not that beneficial for you. For the winning side, it's definitely a bit of an annoying fact as the push comes round. North, going to try and get aggressive here. Everyone is out of Pop Dog, though. But the entire team could definitely come up behind them.
Yeah, you got to be hoping for some miracles here. If you are North. Maybe get a kill, 2 or 3 kills at best, and keep the guns. Would be your best situation here, I think. I don't see it happening unless they're able to get in really good exit positions. Because right now, HellRaisers is very composed. They're holding every single exit point that they do have. And a free kill for Woxic and Kirby just bouncing around. And it's going to be 14-13, and North, they've only got 1 good buy left in them right here, so they'll be buying next. If they lose that, it's 14-14. And that's when you start wondering, do you force in to just try and force a win on a round, or do you play for the overtime?
That's the question. Do you harm yourself and potentially throw the game? Or do you play for the overtime and take the reduced points on the chin? Here comes the rebuy, and our questions will be answered.
And that will be a pull. I imagine that's going to be North, right? Because they're the ones in a horrible position right now. HellRaisers have been just running in, sweeping these last few rounds.
And HellRaisers can buy pretty comfortably from this point onwards. It doesn't matter.
Now. Guaranteed, they've got. If they lose this round, they could buy next. If they win this round and then lose the next 2, they've guaranteed got buys. But North, I'm trying to think, what can they actually do? I mean, Cajun's not really had much of an impact on the map, if I'm honest. He's been AWPing and not being able to use that AWP to a great effect. He's got the lowest kill total other than Dead Fox on the server right now. And he's also got the lowest deaths in the game as well. Just purely shows he's not had much contact with the opposition. It's possible he needs to maybe try and force the issue. You want your in-game leader to be showing, lead by example. Get in their faces and actually do something about it.
There we go, Ben. Round 28. The rebuys have come out for either side. The pause is over, and will it help them? Woxic is already in the site. And Gade is right there, but is he going to realise? The smokes are down. Woxic gets the first frag. Gade should have an inkling of what has gone on at this point, but it's still going to be hard for him. Nearly takes out his teammates because of the miscommunication, but everyone is perishing on the side of North. 1 by 1, they hit the deck. They've all gone down, and it is just on Valde, the last remaining CT side player. HellRaisers will take this 14-14. It's coming down to the wire, Ben.
I really like that call from HellRaisers, though. Straight out of attack the pause. Typically, you try and think of something specific to do. And North, they don't even get a chance to execute what they're planning to do. HellRaisers take it straight to them. Woxic, he was so aggressive with that spawn. Takes it straight towards Red Train, scopes it, gets the opening kill. And from there, they just wiped them out. I imagine that's another tactical from North. This will be their 3rd tactical so far. They still got another one. And this has got to be talking about what kind of buy. So I mentioned potentially saving up to try and force the overtime. And it does look like they're going to be doing that, right? You see the CZ armor being purchased from all the players. But I'm just wondering, the rounds have not been going well for them on the buy rounds, nor have they been going well on forced buy rounds.
Yeah.
Something needs to change, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
It's not going well at all. It's 14-14. It's all tied up, and this next round decides so much. North, for the investment they've gone for, is it going to pay off? HellRaisers, can they deny this going to overtime and finally get themselves another win this season and bolster those points a little bit, move them up the standings ever so slightly in contest against North. It'd be a big result, but here comes the push. Valde up close and personal with that CZ, but he's going to be bypassed. Luckily enough, though, he hears the herd of elephants that are storming behind him, but he had no idea by the time they had arrived on the scene. Goes down to Dead Fox. More damage to be done as he is just cutting his way through each and every person in front of him, and it is only Kirby that remains. Not for long, however, as Issa will take the double kill, and that is match point secured for HellRaisers.
Another fantastic call from Honest Angel. Again, taking it straight to them. Wolfpack play. Just go out as a group. 3 off upper, 2 down lower. Beautiful play. I mean, Valde, he heard them all going upper, as he mentioned. But it's all well and good hearing them. You can't do anything about it, clearly. All the players had arrived from North into the site, and they couldn't do anything in there. And this is the last spawn. North go for the double AWP. AZ, who's, I wouldn't normally say he's a secondary AWPer either. And he picks one up, but Cadian finally gets involved in the game. Gets an opening kill into the round. Maybe this is some better things from North.
We need to see this as well. Cadian, when he was getting picks with that AWP, it was effective. It allowed them to get into a good position. However, though, Ben, there's the trade, and that's Kirby that has gone down. That is a big kick in the teeth for them. It's going to make their lives a lot harder. Cadian forced to rotate back around now. 1:15 on the clock as he gets in position.
So he got that early kill towards B. And because of that kill at Ali, he's forced to rotate towards this backtrack area. However, fortunately for him, Issa did use his smoke when he was already there, and Gade wins that fight in main. And he's got away too. He's even willing to fight further. I mean, he's sat on a molly right now. He needs to put it out.
He will stay alive, but he's incredibly burnt. He's crispy from the Molotov and left on just 12 HP. Nade goes out, Valde with a headshot onto Woxic. It's only Bondic that remains. That will be overtime. Cadian gave them the early entry and was the mean man who actually pad it out. 3 kills found for him just when they needed them, Ben, as it ties it up. That's the full 30 rounds played, meaning we move into overtime.
Just think about it this way. North at one point were at 14-9.
Yes.
They go down 14-15 from that. And finally, Cadian, I mentioned he hasn't really had an impact this game.
He hadn't done anything
like, it's all
for a while.
Calling-wise, you can have an impact, fine. But on the server, as a player, he hadn't done much. And that last round finally did something. He got that entry kill you mentioned. He then followed up with another 2 kills. And now they've got the 16k to play with, and I'm wondering, will they actually go for the double AWP? Because I didn't see the second AWP actually do much in that round.
I don't think it really got a chance to, did it?
No. So I'm wondering if they will go for it again.
It just got taken out before it even came into effect. But we'll find out as we get back into the overtime. What this does mean, though, is one team can't walk away with all of the points from this. Whoever loses will, at the very least, get 1 point for their effort, and the other team will take 2, Ben.
Definitely. I mean, North have been in this position already in the past 2 days. And they did take that against Big. It was 22-20. So they're used to that overtime scenario, you know, they're used to having 16k. And that means they're probably used to, you know, considering, do we want double up this time outside? You know, that sort of thing, you know, on CT side. But I'm just wondering how different will the HellRaisers CT side be as well when they have 16k? Because they had issues with their money when they were playing CT too. And there we go. That is the double AWP picked up there. Cadian and AZ both grab an AWP each. And Woxic goes back to his AWP. He doesn't actually buy all the grenades he could either. So he's clearly valuing his money for next round or the future rounds after that. And the AWP is going for a pick at B, and there's also an AWP towards Ali as well. Just look how aggressive Woxic is as an AWP. He's willing to walk through smokes.
Yeah, he just goes straight out. Ooh. Unfortunately, he goes straight down to death school, as he'll be punished by AZ. Kirby also goes out for the push on Angel. And where was this during regulation? The confidence has started to come back towards him. There's a spring in their step. And there's also blood in the shoes of Gade, as he's been taken out by Issa. Traded upon, Ben, as it falls into the 4v3, make it the 4v2, as Kirby will hit the headshot on Dead Fox and things start to go south very quickly.
Bondic, he doesn't know there's a player close, but Valde was looking for him. He's managed to get in between all the players, but it's a 1v4. He's going to have to do something absolutely crazy here. Unfortunately, does not make it work. Kirby with 3 kills, AZ with 2. I asked that second AWP to actually get an impact, and there we go, 2 kills. I suppose that gives you good reason to keep that second AWP in play here. But but you might as well leave an M4 in spawn, I feel, just for the rotate in case you need it.
Hey, you might as well. You got the cash to go for it. It wouldn't be the most egregious expense. And for Woxic, still trying to keep that money alive as this game goes on. No nades once again, so it's only the 4 players that invest. He tries to keep his cash, but luckily enough, he's very effective with just an AWP as he goes for the peak and takes AZ.
And Cadian was sat in fire for so long just then. He's lost 34 health. He's peeking further into it. He's lost even more health.
Yeah.
And he's taking hits from the floor as well.
What's he doing?
He's taking every single bit of damage he can without seeing an enemy.
Just soaking it up. It's like a Hoover, but for damage. Oh, Gade! No. He is the fun Hoover, and he's hoovered up all the fun that HellRaisers were going to have. They've all gone down, and Woxic's the only man that remains. He gets the 1 kill, trades it back on Gade, and it's now fallen to the 2 versus 3, Ben. This round is tight.
It's a very rough one. Woxic's got both kills for his team so far in this round. And Cadian, he's still low from that previous engagement earlier on with the fire and floor. But Deadfox and Woxic looking to make some plays towards the site. Deadfox does have that bomb. He can get the bomb down if he needs to. Looks like he'll probably plant in the smoke, keep it a bit safe. What was he actually smoked? Z, I think. I think Kirby's probably going to get the drop here. As soon as that molly gets thrown.
Yeah.
He's going to wait for the plant, I think, and then actually go and wide swing it.
I mean, that's the read. He's got the info. He's got a flashbang.
Flash.
Perfect. He gets the headshot on Woxic, and it is all up to Deadfox. Deadfox, no idea what shenanigans were occurring around him, so he will go down, confused by the kerfuffle that was going on. And that makes it 17 to 15. North in a really good position now. If they can get this last round of the half, they'll only need 1 to close it down their T side, Ben.
And it all stemmed from Gade there, really. 3 kills in ladder without anybody trading, and that's diabolical if you think about it. From if you watch that back, you're just like, why were none of us expecting a player to possibly be in there? And Woxic finally gets to spend his money on grenades, knowing he doesn't have another round to play out if they lose this one.
Might as well invest.
So Cadian this time did actually peak lower with Valdi actually upper this time. So North, I mean, consider how the last 10 rounds of regulation went. A complete contrast in terms of performance. As you mentioned, the confidence difference, it was just so weird.
And it is odd how they sort of seem to pipe down once they got themselves into a very good position.
Very peculiar. I mean, Kirby, he's actually pushing this. He's gone out the other way. So I did see him on radar, and he doesn't get the kill either. And the B-Take's going to have to come in. Valde's going to have free reign on these players running out lower.
Oh, Valde with the kill over on towards Angel, but Deadfox trades it back. And it falls into the 4 versus 3. But that CT side is just looking deadly. Every frag is poised and perfect. Unfortunately, he will blind himself, and AZ slips back through, but Woxic gets the kill. Comes down to the 3-on-2 now. Cadian trying to work out where they are. Bondic, in the meantime, has lost his face as he'll be
on top of the site.
Punished. Yeah, Woxic up there, fully exposed, confident as ever. It's a 3-on-1. They can swarm from each angle. Surely Woxic can't do anything to stay alive into this one. It should be way too hard for him. Falls back, has the AWP out. He's ready. A no-scope could save him, but he turns around with the time. And that will Gade finishing him off. 18 to 15. 1 round is all North require.
Yeah, I feel like Kirby getting that kill at Ali just cemented that round, really, didn't it? It was just the fact Issa didn't even win that trade. He just says things are not going to go well for you in this overtime.
Yeah.
And then Valdi gets free reign, gets that first kill. Cadian gets another one when pushing forward. 18 to 15, I mean... North will be a bit annoyed at themselves, really, if you consider the situation they were in. It was 14 to 9. They could have had all 3 points there and then, really. But instead, they're at best going to get 2.
Yeah, they do have to concede 1 point over to the side of HellRaisers. Obviously, a little bit of a sad affair for them. Could have been better, as they're already pretty high up the standings, currently 1st place in Pro League. If they would have got an extra 3 points, could have been even better for them.
Yeah, but I suppose it's not quite over yet. HellRaisers could potentially fight back here. But it's a big ask, though. But I'm wondering, again, with that 16k, will we see Deadfox perhaps picking up another AWP here? Because Woxic and Deadfox both, when they have had money, they have on occasion bought the double AWP. We did see triple AWP earlier, in fact.
Well, Seems like we're almost ready to get underway and carry this one on as the sides will flip around North. They look pretty effective on their T side, and they keep that going for them. As it's been a slow game. They have been dragged into overtime, kicking and screaming by HellRaisers. Where does it go from here?
So the double up I mentioned, Dead Fox does pick it up. Woxic does the same. And otherwise it is just pure rifles for the rest of the HellRaisers players. And Bondek is forced into using his Molotov that early at B. Just a simple 2 players just running across, making some steps. He doesn't even risk it, he just thinks, okay, they might push out and pulling it down.
Yeah, drop the molly, save yourself just in case.
But in terms of utility, just HellRaisers, they're being pressured across the map by looks of things into using these grenades. And AZ lining up, I think that might be the Z smoke from above ladder. I was hoping to get some use of his AWP at alley. Has to use his Molotov there just because that was simple smoke being pushed forward. And it does look like it's going to be an outside play. 3 players towards alley for North. Cage in here with his AWP as well. But I'm wondering, is Kirby going to get pushed in main? Because as time ticks away, HellRaisers feel like they need to get some more info. They've got 2 players towards B right now. You can see all the players outside, they're attempting grenades, they're thinking about throwing them. After smoke thrown in by Issa, does he know that Kirby's already in there? Maybe too late. There we go, that's probably game right there. 2v4. Angel and Bondek, they have next to no grenades left as well.
Yeah, this has not gone well. This should be the game. Wrapped up in a 19-15 scoreline in favour of North, splitting the points, giving 1 to HellRaisers and taking 2 for themselves. Angel, though, has other ideas in mind, but can he save it? No, he can't. Beheaded, Bondic, the only one to actually fight back as the police brutality comes out from him. Assault and battery, but he is the one being battered. Down on the ground, Kirby will win it for North as they take the series. 2 points go in their buffer, and HellRaisers walk away with 1 from Train.
Yeah, so I mean, as I mentioned, North will be annoyed at themselves, right? They could have got the 3 points. It was 14-9 at one point. HellRaisers, on the other hand, they're probably quite happy with their mental fortitude to get to that point. I suppose they collapsed when it went to overtime. So, you know, when they had the chance to finally get towards it, they were 15-14 up technically as well. Like, you know, when the pressure got to them, they couldn't quite steal all 3. Thankfully, though, they have another map, right? So they did get a point. They're not going to leave today with 0 points from the 4 games. That's some kind of bonus. They got 1, 100%.
I still got that 1 point confirmed, and it is better than nothing.
Overpass, though. So I can give you a little bonus, little stat here.
Yeah.
They played each other at the major.
Okay.
Funnily enough. So this was when they had MSL and Nico, though, North, right?
Yeah.
HellRaisers won 19-17 in that matchup. But that was backed up by Issa and Woxic having 30+ kills each.
Okay.
So potentially to have that win, they needed 2 players to pop off.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good for them when you think about that and North's recent form.
That is very true. And North have looked pretty damn damaging, especially going into this series as well. Lots of good stuff to be seen from them. So a lot of questions to be answered before we get into that second matchup. They still have 1 more map to go before we round out this series and see who will walk away. 3 ball points up for grabs with the following map that is going to be going down. For the meantime, we will leave you with the replays to refresh your memories of some of the beautiful clips we had on this map here on Train, and then we're back in to round it up with our second map after the break. Enjoy these for the meantime.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.